Hey guys, it's Major and Minus here, and I'm going to be quick here. First of all, I've got a snowball. The snowball is hopefully increasing my voice quality. Hopefully it sounds a lot more harmonious, as they say. And secondly, I'm doing a top 10 list of my favourite games of all time. To start off with, there's not going to be any Final Fantasy games on this list, and I know that might come as a shock to some people, because Final Fantasy is an amazing game series. I'm not trying to dispute that, but I haven't had enough hands-on experience with the franchise as of yet. Final Fantasy VII I watched my brother play through pretty much all the way, but I don't think it's very fair of me to critique it, seeing as I've not played it myself. So yeah, starting off, I'm putting Halo 2 at number 10. I had to put Halo in here because it would be unfair not to. With the amount of fun that franchise has offered me, it was hard to narrow down which one I wanted to pick. I think Halo 3 has the best multiplayer, Halo 1 has the best campaign, but I'd say that Halo 2 is the best all round. I know a lot of people would say that Halo 2 was the best multiplayer, but I started playing it quite young, and maybe I just wasn't good enough to enjoy it at the time. Master Chief is just an amazing character. He's so iconic. The fact that they brought elites into the game added another dimension into both the storytelling and the gameplay mechanics. And overall, the multiplayer maps such as Isolation, Zanzibar, Coagulation, so many good maps to choose from. Even the map packs were some of the best map packs I've played in a game to date. And it was just overall value for money. Secondly is number 9 is Super Smash Bros. Melee. It was kind of a toss-up between Super Smash Bros. Melee and Super Smash Bros. N64. I think they're both amazing games. I didn't really want to put Brawl in there because I feel like the final Smash system cheapened the gameplay mechanics, and some of them were just way too overpowered for my liking. But me personally, Melee is the one that stands out for me. It has the best roster, the best map design, the best single player experience, I would argue. You get classic mode and adventure mode. That's another thing that put me off of Brawl. The adventure mode in that game was subpar for me. But yeah, Melee was just a great game. You had characters like Mewtwo, Falco, Mr. Game & Watch, Fox, Captain Falcon, Ganondorf, Young Link, you know, so many good characters, Martha Roy. I just thought it was overall an amazing game. Next on the list is Perfect Dark. You might have seen a video on my channel recently dissecting Perfect Dark. I think it's one of the best FPSs ever to date. It's made by Rare Software. Rare have produced some of the best games, such as the Donkey Kong Country series, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, and they did not fail in this title. GoldenEye isn't going to be on this list just because I feel like Perfect Dark surpasses GoldenEye in pretty much every sense of the word. I think the weapons are better. They bring back some of the classics whilst also improving on the existing formula. I think the campaign's better. I think the characters are better. The map design is amazing. So just overall, I think Perfect Dark surpasses it. Number 7 on my list is Time Splitters 2. If you've played Time Splitters 2, I'm sure you will agree that it deserves such a high place on the list. One of the best FPSs I've ever played. Made by Crytek UK, which actually contains a lot of the employees from Rare Software. With over 100 playable characters, there's loads of multiplayer challenges to unlock all these characters. The campaign's amazing, and yeah, I've never had so much replayability in a multiplayer title. The virus mode, which is basically similar to Infection, was just addicting, like amazingly addicting. The fact that you can play as a monkey on multiplayer and the gingerbread man and a giant duck, that's just all too cool for me to take. Next on the list at number 6 is Super Mario N64. If you've played this game, I'm sure you can't dispute that this game deserves a place. The overworld is one of the best overworlds I've ever seen in a game. The way that you jump into paintings in order to get to the next level. The Bowser battles, the boss battles, the graphics, the level design, of course. I just think it's an amazing game. I couldn't believe how much depth that the game has. There's so many levels. Yeah, just an amazing game. Definitely deserves its spot. And you know, I hear a lot of people complaining that Mario, you know, doesn't deserve such a high podium because, you know, a lot of people don't enjoy modern Mario games, but if you played some of the old Mario games when they first came out, you would know just how mind-blowing and revolutionary they were. to the gaming platform and industry. At number 5 is Diablo 2. Some people might say that this game doesn't deserve such a high place, but it wouldn't be fair of me to not put it this high with the amount of enjoyment that I got out of that game. I probably spent about 3 years of my life just waking up, playing fucking Diablo 2, going to bed, waking up. I just was completely addicted to it as a kid. The 5 custom classes, the Necromancer, the Barbarian, the Paladin, the Sorceress, and I can't remember the last one. But yeah, the Amazon, that was it. But it was truly just so addicting. The level design was awesome, and I think that game underpins something that not every title can do, and that is atmosphere. That game created a dark, brooding atmosphere. You felt like something wrong could happen at any next turn. The boss battles were amazing. Andariel, Juriel, Mephisto, Baal, Diablo. Had one of the best expansions to a game I've ever played. Just truly awesome. The duels in that game were really good. I think Diablo 3, where it most failed, is it didn't create that dark atmosphere. You didn't feel like something, evil was lurking around every corner, and it didn't create the atmosphere that you felt like you were in hell. You felt like you were under attack, like Earth was under attack. That was literally how it felt. Next game is Star Fox N64. I could have easily put this game higher because this game is truly amazing, with some of the best characters I've seen in any game, with some of the best level design. It's a concept that, to me, it's not something that stands out to me. It's not something I go, wow, you get to fly in a spaceship and shoot people. But this game does it so well, with the music, the characters, the level design, the non-linearity, the fact that you got to go to all these different planets, and there were 2 different final boss battles. You could either fight Andros or Andros's brain if you went the secret way. The secret way was really hard to finish off. Some of the maps on there, some of the boss battles were super hard. If you remember the underwater level where you got to change into a boat, the fact that you get to change into a tank as well, it's just truly amazing. It was groundbreaking at the time, and to this day it still feels groundbreaking when you pick it up and play it. Next game on the list is Super Mario World. If you played Super Mario World, you would recognise that it is most likely in my opinion anyhow, it's the best 2D platformer I've ever played. The level design, the scope of the game, the graphics at the time were amazing. It was one of the best SNES games of all time. The fact that you got to play as Mario and Luigi and mix and match, the castle levels, it was just every gamer's Mario experience that they'd ever wanted, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Next is Zelda Ocarina of Time, and you might be surprised that it's not number 1. Zelda Ocarina of Time is one of the best games I've ever played. The music is just fucking incredible. The gameplay was incredible at the time. The graphics were incredible at the time. The scope of the game was just enormous. Even now, even to this day, they don't make single-player games that are quite as big. I remember getting the first 3, magic stones or whatever, the fire stone, the grass stone, and the water stone from each of those temples, and then realising that the game wasn't even over yet, and you still had to do 8 more temples: the water temple, the fire temple, the spirit temple, the shadow temple. Oh wow, it was fucking good. That was another game that managed to create an atmosphere that not many other games have, thanks to its music, its level design, the graphics, the characters. It was truly a privilege to play that game, I would say. But it's not number 1 on my list, because number 1 on my list goes to Banjo-Kazooie. If you played Banjo-Kazooie, you should love it, and if you don't, you should feel bad about yourself, because that game is a masterpiece. Literally, when I try to think of something wrong about that game, I find it near impossible to do so. You've got the level design, the campaign, the story, the characters, the music. Spiral Mountain is one of the most iconic locations within any game that I've ever seen. The final boss battle, the collectibles, the fact that, it took the formula of Super Mario N64 and completely just mind blew everyone. No one had seen a game like this. Rusty Bucket Bay. Oh my god, so many good maps on that game, so many good memories. The gameplay mechanics were near flawless. For a kid playing that game, it was just like paradise. It was just the best kids game, the best adults game, and you know, takes its place as my favourite game of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this list. It kind of went on a bit. I tried to make it as short as possible, but I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to sell any games short. I wanted to give each game the spotlight that it deserved. If you disagree with me, feel free to voice your opinions in the comments. I know I went for, you know, quite a lot of N64 era games, but those games are the games that meant the most to me, and that's just my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.